Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 Shadows of Change, where we have become expert at making enemies, but have yet to decide what we're going to be making them into. This is just one of our problems up here. We really do need a second army on the way, and I mean, we have a lot of troops. Things are going to happen. Where's everybody at right now? Sergei's sailing across the ocean. I don't think there's any reason... Yeah, Sergei's sailing across the ocean. Do we want to go...
I switch.
Trying to figure out how I am actually planning this trip. I guess you're going to head south around here.
Comes from what?
Traveling this way is going to put us like on the Bretonian coast, which is actually still really far away from where we need to be. I think I'm going to have Sergei... So we have this army that's recruiting right now. They're going to sail a little bit more northward. At some point, somebody's going to get teleported. I guess probably what we will do is we will wait and teleport this army. There are an awful lot of Lothern armies in my territory. I think all of them...
I see the winds.
Yeah, all of them on the way to slay these, to slay the Khemri who took entirely too long to get back on side. You know, honestly, Sergei's probably not needed over here. Let's have Sergei sail. I'm going to go toward Lothern just to get into friendly waters where we can recover from the storm damage a little bit. Although, honestly, our attrition damage is so blunted anyway. It may not be a big deal. And then we'll have Sergei head more southward and just kind of like look for stuff to do. We still have a couple of kinds of thing to discover, right? We need to find an opportunity to do something with an ogre kingdom, find some beastmen, find some chaos dwarfs, Grand Cathay, and also a Bretonian. It's probably easier to get the alliance with the Bretonian. We've fought a lot of their enemies. So the only person up here that we're not currently at war with is the Demons of Chaos, the Legion of Chaos. But they are kind of like everything that surrounds me is owned by them. None of the other players are doing a good enough job conquering anything, and nobody else is at war with them, so they're not going to get defeated unless I do it. Can I get words with the Disciples of Ashud? How are we doing? I don't want to say like, hey, let's try to ally with these Chaos Dwarves necessarily, but I'm kind of curious. Okay, never mind. They wouldn't be a worthwhile ally to have anyway. Everybody would look at us askance for having a Chaos-aligned ally, or at least a Chaos-aligned person that we're doing treaties with. And then on top of that, they're just going to collapse.
Who calls?
All right, Sterling, how about you?
Greetings on behalf of the
Sure,
Empire.
that's fun.
What brings you here with a blade?
What if I were to give myself even more problems? Apparently I'm meant to buy my way into a trade agreement even if I do this. But fine.
All right.
That's mostly what I was looking for, was the trade agreement. Alright, I'm going to save you from the only person you're currently at war with, if I can. Although, you know, the vampires might come around on that at any moment. Hey, wasn't this army not full a second ago? Well, whatever. We can take them. So, let's talk about this army composition really quickly. They have a lot of these Chaos Furies. These are like flying monkeys, basically, in a very Wizard of Oz sort of way. And they do have some decent bonus versus infantry. So they have reasonable melee attack. They can actually be kind of dangerous against sort of like light infantry armies like the Empire. Chaos Furies can be fine against the Empire, provided you can avoid getting them shot out of the sky. But we don't really have traditional infantry, and their 21 melee defense, 20 armor, and pretty low HP means we're just going to shred them. That's a third of this stack. They got some bad ranged units. They've got Nurglings, which are a joke. Like, the number of units in this army that are actually worth anything at all is so small. I think, let us feast.
Old woman.
Yeah.
Consume them in shadows.
Now, the big question is, are we taking Castle von Rocken? Are we expanding our territory in this region? Or are we just burning this stuff and letting the men of the Empire take it? You know, I guess actually,
Where I
if I'm going to let the men of the Empire have it, it probably is better that I take it and then trade it to them, right? So that was the Daemon Prince of the Legion of Chaos. Diplomatic relations up dramatically with myself, essentially, and a big reduction in attrition damage suffered, but we already have some pretty good reductions to that. It's not really a very good reward. That said, it is like it's a free trade. There's no cost. You can only get so mad about getting something for free. Okay, finish off Specialist here. None of these armies are actually in range.
Frustrate me.
Yeah, Azazel could barely touch the walls of Erengrad in March mode, so he definitely can't attack it. Let's see if we can't give him the old curse. All right. Excellent news. So his army's going to be tired whenever he shows up, wherever it is he's showing up. I don't even know which witch this is, but sure, finish the withering. Ah, that is the witch in Sergei's army. I was like, that name's familiar, but
Frostweaver.
this is a different witch. We have a lot of witches at this point. I think I like the enfeebling foe over the... We'll get them both eventually. This guy also levels up. Yep, more replenishment. This army is going to need it, it turns out. We have a lot of free skill points just being sort of channeled in all directions, or a lot of XP being channeled in all directions from the what do you call it? The mentor skills. Okay.
Set sail.
So next turn he joins in there.
Ice witch. Storm summoner.
You get your route marcher.
Wondrous tool indeed.
Okay, cool. And we have all of the money in the universe. Every bit of gold that exists is right here. Let's build a market square. We really don't have that many bonuses to the output of our markets. I thought by now... Well, whatever. Because we have all those trade good buildings that are supposed to... Well, I mean, also we have a lot that improve the value of farms, obviously. Alright, 6 turns until we can properly recruit elemental bears. It is turn 94, and we don't have our full roster available yet. My attention has been elsewhere. Speaking of elsewhere, why am I not being told that I can upgrade this stuff? Hold on a second. The map is just not interested in telling us about all of our potential upgrades. Okay, there we go. Now we've actually built up everything we can build up. But you know what? We have to go look at... Yeah, I'm going to want to remove this. This is no good. And then next turn, I'm going to go ahead and sit here in it and take the full replenishment to which we are entitled. Next turn, we may trade it to the Empire. We'll see. Oh, I caught a plague. I'm spreading Nurgle corruption. Well, that's very whatever. We have so much counter-corruption. And then I'm absolutely just going to press this button as many times as it will allow. There we go. We're doing it. 297. Almost there. Foretold Cackletang is a really good name for a demon. So we're pretty sure that that temple up there is the last stronghold of this Skaven faction. It looks like the Ice Court is actually on top of it. Maybe we won't have to go over and knock them out ourselves. That would be rad. Wow, this is looking pretty bad for the Khemri. Finally, they have met their end. What you're seeing here is the most dangerous thing in the Immortal Empires mode. that is an elf player who has run out of things to do. Because, like, Ulthuan gets settled. The coalition of elf factions that won gets super rich off of all of the settlements and trade goods and stuff that are in that area. And then they have, you know, the picture of guy holding all those limes. They have these hammers, and what are they going to do with them? Oh, they'll find something. They'll find something. At some point, a big boat full of lizard men is going to appear on the horizon. Hi, what's up? You will pay me 2,000 gold for a thing that's probably pretty irrelevant. That's fine. I will take your 2,000 gold. I was definitely going to turn down alliances at this point, because you pissed off the elf ball, and your fate is your own. Okay, the Reichlanders are properly at war with the vampires. It seems like they're maybe not doing so hot in that particular conflict. They have a lot of land, but they don't really have that many troops. They're only about as powerful as we are. They're a little bit spread out because of all the land, and they just lost what looked like a pretty important battle. So we might be in vampire hunting mode soon. Maybe we will need all of our armies in this area. Well, I was gonna when we do the teleport, I'm gonna teleport that army to the Griffinwood, not to Lorelorn. So we'll grab that outpost there, and then I guess we shall see exactly how we want to handle it. That army's not ready to move yet. I assume I will not be able to teleport it while it's in muster mode. But I guess I don't actually know. What's up, Lamont? What do you got? He's going for it. He wants to do this. We could probably take advantage of that eagerness. Alright, and still some absolute nobody pirate factions running around. Just kind of being in everybody's way. Okay, Black Ark's being summoned. Following a string of impressive victories, Reichland has become a major power. It is imperative for us to make plans to deal with them, either with overwhelming military force or cunning diplomacy. What a strange message. About someone that I'm allied with? I'm pretty sure. Right, we are allied with Reichland, aren't we? Yeah.
Be at peace.
We're not military allies.
Never want.
Hey, do you want a castle of the von Rocken variety? They would take the military alliance. I don't think I want the military alliance. I think I just want money.
I will.
Caliber fools!
We can almost make it to Azazel. I think I'm just gonna take cover outside. There was a high ambush chance area around. There's like a pixel of good ambush over here somewhere.
On.
Yeah.
There is a magic in stillness.
We'll just do this thing, let one of them come at us and crush them when they arrive. Upgrade and upgrade and upgrade. I am going to sail Sergei around the north. Just trying to make sure we're ending our turn in friendly territory here. Sorry, not even in friendly territory. That's my territory.
As pure as ocean.
How is this hostile waters? Oh, this ocean region isn't actually connected to anything. There's none of these things have ports. We need to get across the line before I'm in my own territory. Well, whatever. We will. How much time do you have left? 2 turns? I guess we'll wait on this. I can Coven's Curse mark somebody this turn, I'm sure.
Goals.
So you're headed... I guess we can
A noble goal.
stop off here and interact with the remnants of a battle. Alright, campaign line of sight up, that's fine. The Frost Shard Glaive. That's pretty good. 30-second duration, 120-second cooldown. That's a massive melee defense debuff. Does your Patriarch have a weapon? He does, but it's crummy. Let's replace that. He's also not wearing armor. What is this? What is this set made up of? Oh, the Frost Shard Glaive is part of it. So yeah, let's put you on the track to that. So if we find a Blizzard Brooch somewhere and give it to him, he'll get bonus speed and also frostbite attacks. Cool.
Storm summoner. Chase the horizon.
You somehow... Okay, it's just not showing your movement range.
The council's voice.
We're almost certainly going to get attacked by Sloppy Crookshank. I don't think it matters. I think it's fine. Pretty sure we're going to take him. Okay, neutral and improving.
Who seeks my wise?
Who else do we know? We know Bordello. They're pretty friendly.
Passage in these lands.
Jesus. Okay. All right, 19. I like trade. 19k is a little. That's a little harsh, my dude. Not Musalon.
Let the supplicant come forward.
We're still not. We're still not even getting trade agreements with Musalon at plus 72. Come on now, dude. You know what? That's fine.
I am with you.
The alliance is off the table for the moment, but we might be able to get there with Leonkar. That'll get us the trinket.
A wicked thought.
So this guy is for sure in my territory. He's getting curse marked.
Down here sees you, meddler.
You might be as well.
Shadows. They speak to me.
Is there like a... Can we do an assassination anywhere that would matter? It probably wouldn't matter. You're already cursed. Yeah, I guess let's curse this army too.
Sickness, perhaps.
Highly successful. Fantastic. It is great to have characters who are competent, who have leveled up enough to become competent. Wait, is she recruiting? Okay, no, she is. She has the correct number of slots covered. And we don't have any regiments of renown available, right? I don't want to cancel this because we'll lose the levels. But I'm out, I believe. I'm just trying to figure out if I can afford to drop that
At your peril.
to drop that 2-turn spider recruit and do something that only takes 1 turn instead. Because I would really like to get moving.
Ice calls.
All right, what if we did an allied recruitment? What if we found something that takes only 1 turn that's worth having from an allied army? The Ice Court can only give us stuff that we can already recruit, of course. We have 52 with Reichland, 52 allegiance, but they don't have anything fun. Most of the good stuff from Eotane is going to be multiple turns. Also too expensive. We could take a unit of bolt throwers. This army is so heavy on artillery as it is. Yeah, I think the right answer here is going to be... Oh, I forgot that Avalorn has access to some of the tree units. That's interesting. I think the answer is going to be to just take the teleport next turn and then recruit something on the other side. That would seem to make sense.
Treaty, the pain, mere children. But the lead is lost.
All right. Throwing some more on there. That's a pretty decent amount of growth, and Still have a little bit more we can spend on. Okay, so we don't have enough to force the trade agreement with that other Bretonian faction. This is mostly what I was interested in seeing. All right, let's see if Sloppy Crookshank wants to make a thing of it. Is he territorial about these waters? All right, Chaos Demons are coming down, eager to have somebody to fight with. I figured this would be the case, but we're going to have to push through them, right? It's fine. We are about to have some friends on hand. So when we get teleported, we have our movement, right? We'll get to settle the forest immediately, and then next turn we'll be riding north. So we're still probably like 3 or 4 turns away from being able to help Astankia. But I imagine she's got it. She's got the defense of Erengrad under control, at least. Hopefully this ambush move works on Azazel. The Lamont, what's his name, will be stuck in the snow for a while. As though the land itself had risen up against him. And that'll give us some time to figure out what we want to do about all these incoming Legion armies. Clan Mulder is having a heck of a time finding a new foothold. Oh, they're going for it. And they did manage to drive Avalorn into a retreat. A lot is going to come down in that northern area to whether Avalorn and Eataine can cooperate. Eataine's going to sew up the southern part of the Khemri armies by themselves, but it's not their only problem. Okay, Vlad von Karstein is down. That should blunt the northward momentum of the vampires for a little while. Which is good, because I don't really want to be at war with them right now. That message we received about the Empire telling us to, like, take them seriously. I assume they just, like, somehow they passed some arbitrary power threshold, and the game was just, like, letting us know, hey, this is, like, another player who is able to, in theory, challenge you for victory. Not challenge you for victory, because obviously the AI are not playing toward any win conditions or anything. Oops, gotcha. You fell for that shit again, because you are dumb as hell.
The motherland never falters.
My dude, you must wise up. It is so critical. His other army immediately abandons him. I don't even remember what I was saying. It cannot possibly matter. And I know this because I was the one saying it. Oh, right, about Reichland. But, you know, like, they're not actually going to win the game out from under us in any way, because they can't win the game. They have their own stuff going on. If they win their sort of internal campaign victory conditions, we wouldn't even notice. So the game doesn't bother to give them any, right? And they don't really seem all that powerful, if I'm honest. They have a lot of land, but that kind of seems like it. And in theory, that's like, okay, yeah. Pyrrhic victory for a certain definition of Pyrrhic.
Obey or face the...
They did indeed dash themselves against the cliff of our terrifying competence. They didn't need to do that, but I guess it was nice of them. Ranked up in a province with low growth. Yes, that is certainly a low growth area. We have a new Zorya.
If the frost asks.
And you are for sure learning magic. So Crystal Sanctuary is that damage resistance cannot move skill. Heart of Winter is just like a ramping up. Yeah, over time ramping up Winter Storm that also gets harder to escape as it gets more damaging.
It aids
That seems
my
good.
ice mastery.
Seems good enough, certainly. I'm gonna take Mother Knows Best here. And then also... You are gonna finally start getting your individual... Well, actually, you had 2 skill points. Yeah, finally start getting your individual improvements here. Your melee attack is low enough that focusing on that still seems important.
The Snowbringer.
And we're not going to be able to get into friendly territory. We're going to be able to get into neutral territory here.
I serve the Lady of the Lake.
We're really far from getting military access with them. They consider us their main threat. So actually, we probably want to turn
And the
north.
storm.
Yeah, we can make it over to Elisali.
Raise sail.
And then Elisali likes us.
Do not waste my time.
Ugh. They don't like us enough to give us friendship in their waters, though. So no replenishment. That army's gonna need to take a little bit of a detour for health. You have almost finished. At this point, the only thing to do is to improve your ability to do a thing you'll never do.
Warding Kislev from chaos.
Okay. I really dislike this bug that arises sometimes that prevents you from seeing the
Will get you
the movement range of your armies.
true only for those who offend the motherland.
It's even more relevant for their armies, obviously, because like if I can't tell how far Hushti the Ravisher can move, it's hard for me to know what's safe.
So powerful sorceresses. A drop in the water and sleep.
Let's make sure that they stay tired, unable to fight effectively. I'm wondering if the move is go to Zoishank, burn Zoishank, get bounced back across the gap here. And that probably prevents either of them from being able to reach me. I don't actually want to go up the road.
Still, they
Burn it.
will be better.
Or win the battle, then burn it.
Do
Yep.
what you will.
Okay, we've been re-plagued. It's the same plague, though,
Me,
so not a big deal. We're going to get a burst of replenishment at the beginning of our turn, and we are 2 turns out from the temple, the Tower of Crack, rather, so we can be a threat to Azazel's army, or to Azazel's very
The
existence,
snow.
very shortly. Does this army also want... I think this army also wants the heals, actually. Alright, and let us teleport. We want to go to the Griffinwood.
babes in the wood.
Mistress of the blizzard.
Alright,
An extension of the ice court.
this is mine. It is a little chaos corrupted here. It's fine.
Sister
We're
of
gonna fix it.
ice.
What are the current corruption income levels? Okay, it's all negative. every effect here is negative. This is a chaos gate, which is the only reason. Yeah, Shadow Rift is the only reason I was worried that there would be chaos corruption flowing into the area. But it's one of Bellacor's gates, not one of the weird structures that Archaon leaves behind. I think Archaon structures have to go up over settlements anyway. Or wait, maybe it's a Norskith? I don't remember. The important thing is, this ain't one of those. All right, upgrades to Swamp Town. Oh, see, this is plus markets. Yeah, that building's a market. Oh, there should be more than 3% modifier to markets, because, like, we have, I thought, a bunch of different resource buildings that said bonus to market output. Maybe the numbers reporting wrong? I don't know. Yeah, I guess there's no point in not constructing a control structure, because, like, what else are we going to do here? And it's true, we are building up in this area. I guess let's the borders of this are so small that enemies are never going to start in this region. I guess Awaken the Land? Nothing's actually interesting.
I speak for Kislev.
And then you are going to have a second here to do some recruiting. We could have her sit for 2 turns. If we wanted to grab something like okay from one of these armies. We do have a sort of a dearth of resources, though. We could grab a tree man. What if we had a giant tree? What's the story with the tree man? So strongly armor piercing. Of course, they're they are woodsmen, if anyone anywhere is. 20% physical resist on top of 110 armor. Basically immune to charges. They don't hit very well. Like, they're a lot tougher than an incarnate elemental of beasts. You know what? Go ahead and take 2 turns to recruit a tree man here in the Griffinwood before you come to play defense. I'll be okay. I will survive. We'll have a little bit more defense in Erengrad in a couple of turns, and yeah, that'll be fine.
What fear have you of great wings when you have known the cold of death?
So every time we do that, we're getting 35 spirit spend. I do not think we need to train another Ice Court character. I don't know that we want to even make use of the one we have now. I mean, we could be training another army, so I guess we should be training another army. When's the guy who does that thing available? He's available now. Vasily is... Well... Alright.
I decide Kislev's fate now.
Can be recruiting, should be recruiting.
Any who crave power.
And he is so good at it. So insanely good at recruiting. So... yeah, give me some cannons. We probably don't need as many cannons as I put in the last stack. We're definitely going to want some Ice Guard. Do I want an army that has, like, traditional Tsarguard? Not really. I'm having a huge amount of fun using the spiders. Spiders are a blast. So we'll get some more of those. We'll get, like, at least one of these entered in. Right, so that's exactly all of the Bleak Coast spaces twice. And then we'll do a little bit of recruitment of, like, spiders. We'll get some spiders in this army. This way, are they coming in? They are coming in at a much lower level when globally recruited. But I don't want to, like, wait forever. And they'll gain quickly. Maybe, you know what? Let me recruit ambushers this way first. Yeah, because we have you know, effects locally that are improving recruit level, I think. Yeah, recruit rank +4. Jeez. Kislev seems bananas. Seems like way too powerful. Okay, I think we're actually done for the turn then. We have some minor upgrades we can make with the little money we have left. If they move up on us like they're gonna use hero abilities, and then they just decide not to. Okay. That settlement was sacked and run away from a little bit, which had me nervous, but it looked like they went back to capture it afterward. So that's so weird when the AI does that. They sack the settlement and then move back into it to take it over instead of just picking the loot and capture option that's on the settlement menu. Still a great mystery to me. But we should be good on the Skaven in that area. If we can find a moment for Mother Ostankia to run up to the Tower of Crack, then we can be done with Azazel in the area as well. And then it's pretty much just the matter of the Chaos, the Demon Legion. We will still, of course, have the problem of occasional World Walkers sailing over to harass us. But, you know, they'll be chumps. They'll be chumps every time. Because if Wulfric the Wanderer had anybody in his employ who wasn't a chump, they wouldn't be in the situation that they're in right now. Alright, how's this vampire stuff going? Are you... Okay, well, your attention seems a little bit divided, but you're reinforcing the vampire front. That's good. Yeah, AI armies, or AI factions that have a lot of armies seem to have a remarkably hard time actually, like, flexing their force against their neighbors, because they can't seem to get their many armies on the same page. Oof, yeah, we need to help with those orcs. We really, really, really do not have time to be fighting vampires. Okay, Vigo's headed to Norden, which I think I'm gonna let be the Empire's problem. They have an army running along the northern coast of that area right now. They're on the way. And obviously it would be annoying to me if that faction picked up another settlement, but if we can knock out the tower and really, like, take out their actual recruitment structures, we could just deal with the rest of their stuff at our leisure. Carlos, very far away from any fjords that he could break. Do you think is that name because he breaks existing fjords, or because he breaks a coastline, causing the existence of fjords?
Never yield.
Coast breaker, fjord maker.
Take the oars.
Who can say? Some might say that this line of inquiry is flatly nonsensical.
Authority.
Obviously, I wouldn't go for that sort of thing, but, you know,
Deserve a
it could be
large
said.
retinue.
You do deserve a larger retinue. You're not wrong about that. You won't be receiving it, but you do deserve it. And then also, like, is this another situation where also I'm hiring a boyar? I think probably. Where was the nearest place that we could do that? Yeah, Pahuax. I might need to fix that problem. Not a boyar, a patriarch. She's gonna need a patriarch. Kossar headman, leadership +5 for all the units in the army when in own territory. That's pretty whatever. Knowledgeable is alright. Yeah. Aggressive. This is like
Patriarch of Kislev.
personal stats. Personal stats are valuable. Okay, so you're gonna do some running to catch up. We can definitely use the purification chant on the Griffinwood. It's not even valuable to do so. It's just a way of spending 12 spirit essence.
Storm Summoner.
Get some upgrades to
Such
this
power.
thing.
Such elegance.
All right, next turn, you're ready to go running. Hushti the Ravager has stepped out of position due to not being able to think, basically.
Kislev's foes die.
Where do you think you're going? All right, critical. Not really. I think we can just take the auto-resolve result here.
Disappoint us down here, troops.
We'll grab the replenishment to which we are entitled. We will accept a small amount of plague. We will achieve victory over demons of chaos just so many times.
Curdling milk.
And then there's no way for us to get replenishment now. Actually, you know what? That's not true. You also get the last point of mentor. We could back up.
Spirits, I see.
I have just enough movement. But I'm worried that if I back up, I won't be in position to attack the tower next turn. And I really do want to do that. Garrison here is only 9 units, so Lamont is maybe in position to take it. But obviously I want to be done with this.
There are those whose very
Yeah. Yeah, let's just risk it.
Heed my hexes.
And I mean, I say risk. I don't think we're actually in a lot of danger here. Do I think I would make it next turn? I don't feel confident enough. I wanna be closer.
Kislev expects.
I prefer Beldam.
So you would just boost our tech rate if you affected the city directly. Let's try to tire out this army.
A lung sickness, perhaps.
Oh, you don't have the movement. Never mind.
Bride of the ice.
Okay, you can't quite make it to where you need to be.
Sail on.
That's annoying. I would really like for this army to be healing.
Do you wish the lady's favor?
Okay, we still can't afford that. Even with 13,000 gold to spend on it.
The right to rule.
We're moving toward Deadly Onslaught with you. I was like, hold on, who is this?
A tool.
That's right. We do have one actual fighting boyar recruited. All right, what is next? We finished off those spells. You know, I guess we should probably take magical reserves at some point. There's a little extra room in the gas tank. And what is your third structure? This region probably does not need more control. Geez, Tor Corrali doesn't even have a market square. Don't know that we need to do anything else there. Oh, right. And also, it's time for this. Apologies for all of the button noises. All right, we continue to work. We probably don't actually even need more more trinkets, right? Like our incantation production is fine. But I do just like to see the number go up. If there's a little set of different colored things I can collect, I must collect just tiny colorful things. You know, this is one of the strongest goblin brain instincts, is wired deep into your soul. I must have all the little colorful shinies. Okay, it looks like that's actually just about all of the... Oh, it's Hexawaddle. They would like a peace treaty. They would like to focus on what they're doing right now. You know what? Counter offer. I'll do it, but you have to give me more money. There you go. That's only fair. So yeah, Avalorn has beaten back the exiles even without the help of Lothern's army in that area. They just kind of like Lothern abandoned them, and it went fine anyway. And I think that's got to be the end for the exiles. They're now their empire is sort of like this weird, long, indefensible C shape, and they have enemies devouring it from both ends. here comes Emil von Corden to knock out that Slaneshi army. I think we are about to not just stabilize, but like go fully on the offensive in the north. And we're about to unlock our fifth hex, and everything's coming up Ostankia, basically. But what about these orcs? Are they going to stress our Kislevite allies to the breaking point? Actually, it looks like they're kind of confused, maybe a little distracted. Are they planning to attack the vampires with that army, maybe? Can't say I think that would be a very good idea, but it might be what they're up to. Oh, wow, they burned Norden rather than taking it over. Interesting. I guess they must have seen Emil von Corden and decided it was a bad idea to get stuck in place. So that army's probably going to be going after Ehrengrad then. We are starting to run our army from the Griffinwood north this turn, but I think it's still going to be a couple before we're in defensive position. So I don't know. We'll see how this works out. I may temporarily lose Ehrengrad, just very briefly. Who are you? There's so many, like, very minor Norscan factions. Okay, Hexawaddle's doing stuff. I care even less than I used to. Ice Court training costs down, kind of irrelevant. Honestly, kind of irrelevant even when it's at its most relevant.
Ends justify means.
Alright, there was a character in this army who could be killed, right?
Such poisons, I know.
There you go. Just
Wise woman.
soften them up a little bit as we are on our way in.
The spirits agree.
Okay, they reckon a valiant defeat. Interesting. So, what are we looking at here? The settlement garrison's actually full of chosen, which is a little on the scary side. We might want to build... I guess rams would be the way to do it. I don't know if rams even make sense. Because, like, the way that we would win this battle is by just, like, charging at them and smashing stuff open with our monsters. It's like, we certainly don't want siege towers, because I don't want to put anything up on the walls until we draw the enemies down in the first place. Well, one thing we can do is we can siege them. We can just kind of hang out and do some passive damage to them. Yeah, I legitimately don't think we will win this. Even if we play it, even if we apply all of our curses and stuff. It's a lot of very, very heavy infantry backed up by towers. So we're going to starve them. And while we're starving them, we may as well build some rams and stuff. But, yeah.
Kill for Kislev.
They are not in position to do anything about it. They don't have really enough allies in the area.
Teach them
If Throth starts running toward us, that could be bad. See if that happens. We might have to abandon the siege, but I think we can just wait about.
Roll.
Okay, I passed. I didn't even notice it. Wasn't thinking about it, and don't care. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's stop off in Torkorwali for a turn.
Sister of ice.
Get that really large amount of replenishment.
Do you
Are you coming around on this? Slowly. It's probably worth just spending my money upgrading stuff.
Is our goal.
Ice calls.
All right. Zoya, how far do you
Cannot
get?
hesitate.
We don't actually get to see the answer to that question. So there is a lot of
We
corruption
march
on the
forth.
path. All right. In 3 turns, we'll be in Ehrengrad. Sure, pottery. And then there's nothing else I can do. This gives us some garrison. We can also start building up these things. Do any of these things give us... The Linsk Bridge doesn't give us any garrison, but gosh, it sure gives us a lot of money if it completes. And so that's what we'll do. So we know there's an army somewhere over here. Lamont Dahl will be allowed to move again in 2 turns. The Coven's Curse Mark has the same duration as cooldown, so you can just keep an army locked forever if you want, which is very funny.
Through faith,
Leonid, you are
face the flame.
You are going to take a couple of turns to arrive. It's going to be a minute.
By blood.
We're going to let the recruitment actually finish this time before we replace him with the new ice witch. Okay, and only 96 more spirit essence to go.
What fear have you of great king when you have known the cold of death?
All right, let's see if the Chaos forces are hanging together well enough for the Legion of Chaos to try to free the tower from my influence. It looks like no. It looks like Hubas is probably just headed to Erengrad, honestly. Well, I think I think I'd be fine trading Erengrad away for knocking this faction out of the game. And it's annoying because like it'll go down a level when they capture it, and then it'll go down a level when we recapture it, and it'll be back at the beginning again. But after that, we shouldn't see that happening again, and fewer enemy factions means fewer times that we are up against the difficulty resource bonus. On higher difficulties, it is way better to be up against like 1 6-city faction than 2 3-city factions. And honestly, even a 1-city faction gets such a resource boost from the difficulty that they are able to run like 3 stacks off of the income from a city. So it is definitely worth trading heavily to remove an enemy from the map anytime you can. Anytime you can do so. Alright, Norden exists again. The Chaos Army is right there. I'm assuming Emil von Corden was moving like they didn't know that army was there. So I'm really curious what the outcome of that is going to be. Because the Slaneshi could just jump them now. They're not in a position to be defended by their allies or anything. They're very extended, but they might be tough enough to just handle it, potentially. Hey, dwarves. Yep, that orc army was going to fight the vampires. Why? They had to know that was doomed. Oh, they're going to ride out and fight us on the field? Well, I don't think that's a very good idea. Okay, we're going to do this manually. They're trying to drive us off before we can do starvation damage to them is what's happening here. The auto-resolver would kill all of our leveled up spiders. I'm pretty sure we can do this without that occurring. But it is definitely going to require some manual driving and, of course, the use of some of our incantations and stuff. So, we're at 55 minutes into this episode. I'm not going to start a big battle here, but this demands some time and attention. So that's going to be it for us for today. And when you come back next time tomorrow, we will open up with the glorious defeat of the Ecstatic Legions. It's very difficult to imagine this going well for them. And then from there, on to our own Ecstatic Victory? Question mark? I mean, we're going to unlock that 5th hex. Who knows? Things might go very sideways when that occurs. Come back next time to see if that's the case, and we'll see you then.